Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. It's another paid request, this time for Charles. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos or topics, reactions, randomness, tier lists, topics, reviews, re-reviews, whatever, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal, which is usually the best bet, or join my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box. And this is for the 1978 film Corvette Summer, which I might have seen bits and pieces of it, but I don't think I had ever seen it all the way through. This is the film that Mark Hamill did right after Star Wars. Now, for I understand, I think it was between these two that he got his car accident, where he was a bit disfigured. I believe so. I could be wrong. And then there was always that rumor that one of the reasons they put in the Wampa scene in Empire Strikes Back was he would get attacked, then he would be... Remember in Empire Strikes Back, there's the mask he has on, and then it explains why he's got scars. But George Lucas denied it, but then Carrie Fisher said that was the reason they put in the Wampa scene and him attacked and stuff to explain why he's got scars. Again, whichever it may be. But yeah, he was in a car accident, had to get a bit of surgery. He thought his career was over, but it wasn't, of course. But yeah, this is the film he did right after Star Wars, and it did make some money. It wasn't like a $200 million hit, but it made $30-some million, which for 1978 is nothing, to sneeze at. Now, the director was Matthew Robbins. He would go on to direct The Legend of Billie Jean, Batteries Not Included, which I remember, the little spaceships that help Hugh Cronin and Jessica Tandy fix their diner and the building. And I think Steven Spielberg produced it. Mark Hamill is this guy that, I'm sorry, I don't fucking buy him as a high schooler, because I think he was like 27 years old at the time, 28, 27, but I was supposed to buy him as a high schooler that hasn't graduated yet. With his face, like, you could tell, so it's like, okay, but I get it. There's a lot of movies you just say the same. He's on this class trip or whatever. They're at the junkyard. He sees this 1973 Chevy Corvette Stingray ready for the car crusher. He yells, "Stop, stop, stop." He gets the remains of it and fixes it up in his shop class until it becomes a very beautiful looking car. But the way Mark Hamill acts, he acts as if he wants to fuck it. Put his dick in the exhaust pipe or in the fuel tank. I don't know, it just... I gotta say right here, I was not a fan of this movie. I wasn't. I like Mark Hamill. I really do, man. But he's a light switch. He's either on or he's off. I do sincerely like him in the Star Wars trilogy, acting-wise. I know people make fun of his acting in the original Star Wars. I do like it. I think it works for that role, for what he's portraying. I liked him as the voice in Batman, as the Joker. He did well in the small bit in Jay and Silent Bob Straight Back, where he's in the movie within the movie, a Blunt Man and Chronic. But then you watch, what was that movie? Watchers Reborn? Watchers 4? Terrible. Abysmal performance. The Diver, the first one, kind of mediocre. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know, the movie isn't that good, but yeah, he's there. I'll say in that one, he's there. What was that one? Slipstream with Bill Paxton. Yeah, it's, deal with it maybe, but nothing's fantastic. This, I think his acting at times is uneven, even he's trying to be too big over the top, or sometimes he came off as aggressive and not likable. So the car gets fixed up. Him and his buddies, his teacher, his one of his buddies is Danny Bonaducci from the Partridge Family. They take out, each one take their turns to drive. Danny Bonaducci drives it. He goes in for Coca-Cola. I was going to say Coke, but it's the 70s, so you have to specify what kind of Coke. That Coke or the Coca-Cola Coke. Although Danny Bonaducci probably knows his way around Coke. The car gets stolen. Mark Hamill acts as if he got his, I don't know, date. Like his actual girlfriend got kidnapped. Was this a kiss off bye-bye? Never heard a phrase like that, but okay. And Mark Hamill he just felt miscast in this. He just felt miscast. One that leads to another, he finds out his car's in Vegas, so he goes to Vegas. At one point, he gets picked up by these lowriders, which I guess the joke is that they're too slow. Because they drive too slow. And I'm like, I don't know, there's some kind of hidden meaning to this. If so, it's a bit fucked up, so I don't know. So he gets out of the car, gets picked up by Annie Potts, who's the other big star in the film, who later, of course, would be Janine in Ghostbusters 1 and 2. She'd be on the TV show, was it Designing Women? And Annie Potts looks good. Looks good in this movie. At first I wasn't sure about her voice. It was like a 1930s doll, like gangster doll. Like 4 Shies Away from Betty Boop. For all two of you that remember that cartoon from the way back in the Wayback Machine. But I grew to like her performance, and I definitely thought she was the best actor in the movie. And she's a hooker in training. So you have Annie Potts looking the way she does, and a hooker in training. When, where, and how much do we got? Because I'm there. And this is what pissed me off about the film. Like, I was kind of like not sure about the way Mark Hamill and his reaction. But this pissed me off. So just to a point where Annie Potts offers her services to Mark Hamill. He's like, I don't know. She says, how about $20? $20. You're telling me, Mark Hamill, that for $20, Annie Potts will suck the D, lit the A, B, C, delicious, up, down, and center of the Hershey crack of cracks, do the Bronco Billy on you willy-nilly for $20, and you freak out and say, no, you fucking fool, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is your problem, Mark Hamill? It's not his fault, it's the script's fault. What the fuck are you doing? Annie Potts, the way she looks, if you don't know, look it up, Corvette Summer, Annie Potts, $20? And you're like, no, I just can't do it. You fool. Made me hate the character more so right then and there. So throughout the film, the two of them have this schizo relationship where she keeps urging him to have sex and he keeps saying no, or hey, let me sleep I'll sleep in the van, but I'll sleep over here. And then sometimes they get pissy at each other. You owe me money. Well, I didn't sleep with you. Fine, here's $2. Oh, I don't never see you again. Then, 10 minutes later, hey, how's it going? Come You want to ride? I'm like, I don't know if they really had that chemistry with each other. Annie Potts was good. Mark Hamill at the end was uneven. It pretty much is kind of this haphazard search for the car. You know, he takes odd jobs. At one point, he's worked at a gas station. At one point, he's worked at a car wash. There's some familiar faces. Dick Miller, may rest in peace. He was the neighbor in Gremlins and would return in Gremlins 2 to help Zach Galligan and them defeat the Gremlins. In Gremlins 2, he's the guy that gets the Bat Gremlin and gets him in the damn concrete. To frozen in concrete. He was in a lot of Joe Dante films. He was one of the garbage men in The Birds. He sadly has passed away, but it's cool to see him in this as, I guess, Mr. Lucky, where he's very lucky. He does a coin flip and wins food for Mark Hamill. And sadly, he's only in that one scene. I thought he was going to pop up again and be like a bigger, more important character, but no. He's like, hey kid, here's $2. Like a $2 bill. That's all I had when I started. It doesn't really do anything. I mean, he does slam it down like, hey, fine, I paid you. But nothing really comes of it. It's not like his luck turns so extravagant. It's nice to see Dick Miller in there, but that, I'm just saying that didn't really lead to anywhere, the whole bit. And that's the thing, this is a comedy. I didn't think it was that funny. I really didn't think, like, what was I supposed to laugh? What parts was I supposed to laugh in the film? And I said, the way at times Mark Hamill's character is so aggressive with people, or some of the dumb decisions he makes, where there's, for example, I get it that he wants to get to his car's there. And he's like, no, come on, he's trying to reach for the gas pedal, and she's literally telling him, there's a cop right there. I don't care. C-O-P over there. I don't care. And then he's like, oh, come on, cop, we gotta go over here. Come on, hey, you did that. But I was like, calm the fuck down, man. Take the tampon, take a Timex, timeout. Some other familiar people, when he's working at the car wash, he's in it very briefly, but T.K. Carter was it Knowles? And John Carpenter's The Thing. He's the guy on the roller skates. Maybe we're at war with Norway. He has a brief role in this. And then a guy who you find out that the car was stolen, part of this whole deal. One of them is Brian James. Brian James, sadly, he's passed away. He was the bad guy in the horror show with Lance Henriksen. He was in 48 Hours, and the sequel, another 48 Hours. Done a lot of stuff. This is when Mark Hamill worked at the car wash, is in this yellow jumpsuit. I guess you could say, I mean, that's the thing, for a film called Corvette Summer, you're expecting maybe a lot of car chases, car antics, car crashes. It's not a lot of that. There's this bit here where he's on a bicycle. And he's grabbing on the cars and riding to get closer to Brian James, who's driving the car that by this point now has been all painted gold. And this bit he swerves and he crashes into some tires. And then it gets dark for like 5 minutes where he's fucking beating the shit out of, including attacked with a fucking chain and hit with a fucking chain. Until ultimately he does escape. And then spoilers, you find out that his shop teacher that he was friends with, he helped get the car stolen because he owed money. I don't know, just the way Mark Hamill's acting, like, so befuddled and so sad. It just, like I said, I like Mark Hamill. His acting's really uneven in this. I can't lie. Well, I guess I could lie, but I'm not going to. And there's not a lot of big stunts. Like I said, there's a bit with the bicycle. There's another bit where he ultimately does steal a car, and he did with Annie Potts, and because Annie Potts, she's trying to deal with. She can make. I don't know how she cannot make it as a fucking hooker. You look at the way she looks, but at one point he sees her and she's been beaten up. It was pretty dark for a comedy like this. There's a bit she's serving food. There's another bit that apparently she's going to go into the adult film porn industry, and then Mark Hamill gets her, and they get in the car. There's a bit he plays chicken with a car, and the car swerves, and the bad guy car flips his vehicle. There's little bits here and there, but it's not a lot of stunt work, not a lot of action. Honestly, not a lot of laughs. Like I don't really know which parts were meant to be funny. The romance, Annie Potts is doing fine. I grew to like her character, her attitude, her spunk, so to speak. Not the porno spunk, you perverts. But her smarmy attitude, I thought actually kind of likable. Like I said, Mark Hamill, I think he was miscast. I don't think he was right for this role. I think he was too old. Even at this point, too old for the part. I do. Like, in this time period, I could see maybe like Kevin Bacon, which around the time he did Animal House, he was young enough, and I feel like Kevin Bacon could have pulled this off a bit better. Maybe even Keanu Reeves, because Keanu Reeves did a film kind of like this, although he was his girlfriend that got stolen, called The Night Before. I would say that film I liked more than this. The Night Before, it was him and I forget the girl from Full House. She was in Rad. Lori Loughlin, I believe. Like he goes on a date with her. I mean, so it's not the same movie as this, but I mean, a guy going through all these misadventures to get something back. In this case, someone back, and like that one, I say I enjoyed more than this. The Night Before. And there's been other movies similar to that. And of course, I get the whole idea is that it's not about the car, because he gets the car and then he just gives it back to the school for someone to buy. Which I'm saying they're going, the shop teacher's right there. He could just get the car and sell it back to the guys in Vegas, couldn't he? Like, if no one else is buying the car, maybe the teacher could be like, hey, blah, 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 bullshit his way, get the car, bring it back to Vegas, and be back to the... I mean, you would think the shop teacher could do that. Talk with the principal, blah, blah, blah. But anyway. But the point is not about the car, it's about Annie Potts. So at the end of the day, this just wasn't my cup of tea, I guess. Like, for example, I thought Mark Hamill did a good job in Midnight Ride, okay, with Michael Dudikoff, where Michael Dudikoff is trying to get to his girlfriend or his wife, who's been kidnapped by Mark Hamill, who's this psycho, and Michael Dudikoff's trying to chase after him. Yeah, there's Midnight Ride. I think it was a Canon film, or was it I think it was. That I liked. That I thought Mark Hamill did a good job in, acting-wise. I don't know, maybe just his acting style, and I hate to say even the way he looks, he doesn't just work in this kind of role. I don't know. Try to be the comedic, funny guy, but it just seemed very aggro, aggressive, and just unlikable, and like I said, just too old for the part, and it kind of just, the plot was kind of going in circles. It's him looking for the car, Annie Potts, the car, Annie Potts, and it just, kind of spinning its wheels until now we're at the end. That's just me, though. And the music seemed a lot... Didn't seem cool. Didn't seem like it had a cool soundtrack, hip soundtrack. It felt very broad, and I don't know if it sounded like cartoony, or just something about it just felt off to me. I don't know. Like after school special at times or something. So yeah, I was a big fan of it. I'm sorry, Charles. But with that said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.